Hey guys, it's Richard from Grafting Dragon Fruits, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a horizontal graft. And these are all the supplies that you need to help you do that graft. So here I have some shears, I have scissors to cut some tape, and the tape I use is called micropore paper tape, or it's called medical tape. You can find this at any CVS, Rite Aid, or any health store. This is garden tape. I'm going to use that to tie the bag that I'm going to be putting over it once I'm done. And this is a sterile scalpel. I like to use stuff that is sterile so that way nothing gets infected. And when I'm doing cuts, I want it to be clean so nothing gets bacteria involved. And that's going to ruin your graft. So you want to make sure you're as clean as possible. And that's why I have a alcohol bottle here. So before I use any of these things here, I'll spray it with alcohol, I'll wipe it clean, and then that's when I'll use it. And this is a grafting tool that I really like. I'll put this in my description so that way you guys can find it. But the reason I like this tool is because it has a sharpener right here, and I can sharpen any of these tools here to make it really sharp. So when I do a cut, it's a nice clean cut. And then once you have nice clean cuts, things go a lot better. So this is a really good grafting tool that I use, and I'll leave it in my description. So if anybody is interested, you guys can use it. I use this V tool here a lot, so then I can cut all these spines or aerials, and that way it can focus the energy to the graft. And here I have some clips, and this clips is just to help me hold the bag if I need it. If I don't use this garden tape, I'll use these clips, okay? So those are the supplies that you'll be needing to successfully execute this horizontal graft. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, okay? So the first thing I do is I'm gonna use my shears. When you use old rootstocks like these, their cambium layers becomes really woody and hardy. So when you're trying to cut it with a knife, it doesn't penetrate through. So I use something a little stronger, and this is what I'm gonna do. I just spray it like this, get all that alcohol on there. You wanna drench it. I'm just gonna take my napkin and wipe it all off. So now I know it's clean, it's sterilized, and it's ready to use to cut my rootstock. So that way, if I've cut anything that has something on this, it won't affect the rootstock that I have, and that's very important, okay? All right, so here I go. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rootstock. So I like to cut where I know I can attach easily. So right about here. I'm gonna make sure that it's straight and then slice right through. And here we go. All right, so you guys can see, that's the cambium layer there. And that's what we're gonna be attaching our scion to. Here is a sugar dragon scion. And when you're doing horizontal graft, the whole purpose is to match the two cambium layers together. So what I'm talking about is, let me cut this and then I'll show you guys how to attach that, okay? So here I have my scalpel. I'm gonna move all these things. I'm gonna turn it. Okay, so it's called horizontal graft is because you're going to be cutting it horizontally. So I have a pretty good amount of plant material here. So the bigger the better, and the smaller they're going to dry a lot quicker, okay? So I'm going to go right down here. Okay, you want a nice clean cut, just like that. So you guys check that out. You see that little circle there? That is the cambium layer that you're gonna be wanting to match with this one right here. So that cambium layer, we're gonna be trying to match those two. So flat end to flat end, and you're gonna want to just put it right over. So wherever your cambium layer is, you're gonna try to match it and have it go just like that. So that's how I'm gonna be putting it on. So this is where your tape is gonna be very important. I already have some that's pre-cut and then behind me. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put it on one side first, just like this. And then I just pull it all the way down. So I have one side on first. So now this is where I'm gonna go ahead and match the cambium layer. So I'm gonna check, there it is, just like that. And I just pull my fingers down so that it goes down nice and tight, just like that. Okay, and you're just gonna want to make sure you're always maintaining your position and not really moving anything when you're taping it down. So there's one. And this is why cutting tape beforehand is so important, because your hands are gonna be so busy holding things, you're not gonna be able to get it. I'm gonna put tape on this side now. And the same thing. We're gonna wanna put it on top, slide it all the way down, put a little bit of pressure to it, and just like that. Okay, so I have 2 sides on now, and it's looking good, it's flat. Our last one is the back. You're gonna wanna tape all 3 sides, so that way, once it grows, it starts to misshift and stuff like that, and you don't want it to push it off. So I always put one in the back as well. Same thing, you're gonna smooth it all the way down. Make sure you position it where the cannulaire is, and you pull it all the way down. All right, guys, so that is how you do a horizontal graft. It's as simple as that. You just cut things flat and horizontally, and you attach it to your rootstock. The most important part is you're gonna be matching those cambium layers, okay? Those 2 circles, once you align it together, just like that, they grow a lot better and they're more successful that way. You can kind of misalign it, it still works, but they get best results when you align those right on top of each other. Alrighty? So last part is I'm gonna secure all this tape around it, because when you put your bag on, you don't want it to get loose and detach from each other. So this is what I do. I take some tape and I just put it right over all the tape that's here. So now it's tight, it's secure, and you're ready to bag it. So this is where I'm gonna take my bag, open it, and then I'm gonna re-put it over there. So why horizontal graft? Well, horizontal graft is because you see this part right here. When you go to the store, and let's say you found a fruit that you can't find plant material or cuttings for, you can use this little piece here, cut it off, and as long as the piece isn't too dry, you can use it to graft. So when you're going to find fruits with stems on it, make sure they have spines. They can't grow new branches without these little spines, okay? And the same thing, you go home, you clean this thing very well, and the cambium layers right there, you just make a fresh cut, make sure it's green and not brown. If it's brown, cut it until it's green, and then you're gonna see a nice cambium layer that's nice and fresh. You do the same thing, you get a rootstock, you attach it, and then you're gonna get growth. So that is exactly what I did here with this one. This is an original Ecuador Palora yellow dragon fruit graft. I found a Palora fruit with a stem on it, and I took that stem and I did a horizontal graft on the sugar dragon rootstock, and that is what you see here. It was successful, and now I have the original clone of the Ecuador Palora. It's not from seeds, it was actually from the actual fruit. So I'm gonna have the original Ecuador Palora. So if you guys check it out, this is all the growth that it's been making. And then if you see the horizontal section of it, it's healed, it has calloused over, and now it's growing very happily. You guys see that? I have 4 new shoots. And this was from a little scion like that was dehydrated, and I was able to horizontally graft it, and now it's successful. So I'll be having the original Ecuador Palora dragon fruit next year. So I'm gonna let this grow out, and once these grow out, I'm gonna be doing some more grafting with them, okay? All right, so back to our last process. I thought I'd just explain that to you guys because if you are out there looking for fruit and if there's a stem on it, great, take that home and try to graft it, and you can have yourself a clone, an original of that fruit. So here we go. For the bag part, I want to leave this on for about 10 days. I know cleft grafts, I only put it on for 5 days, but for horizontal grafting, I feel like 10 days is a better number because they sometimes tend to dry out, and that's why I will leave it on a little bit longer. So that's what I'm gonna do. So 10 days, guys, and after 10 days, you guys can remove your bag. And then you're gonna leave it in shade for 15 days. So an additional 15 days into the shade. So 10 days for the bag. After 10 days, you take the bag off, leave it in shade still for additional 5 days. And on day 15, you can take it out to the sun and then see if everything was successful. And if everything was successful, you have a graft that looks just like this. So that is horizontal grafting, you guys. All right, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have much success with this. And if you guys have questions, you guys can always ask me in the comments and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. If you guys enjoyed this video and thought it was helpful, go ahead and hit the like button so that way I know you guys are liking my videos. And if you guys have any questions about grafting and want to see more grafting and dragon fruit videos of mine, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that way you guys won't miss a single thing. Have a wonderful day now. Bye guys.